This war, I truly think, is one of the biggest blunders by far. You know, Trump has two big mistakes during this term. The Epstein files was a huge debacle, and then obviously what we got going on right now with this conflict. And they warned him. They told him, the entire intel community, look, bombing them is not going to effectuate a regime change. These guys are crazy clerics. They have a martyrdom culture. They're gonna buckle down and fight, and that's what they're doing. This is a war of existential existence for them, existential war for them. So they're going to fight tooth and nail, and we've lost this war strategically in every single way. Yes, we're winning militarily. Yes, we're blowing them up. Yes, people are, getting
but not by attrition. They're winning, just like the British won the first 5 years. We won in the last. Exactly. It's who hangs on the longest.
That's precisely what it is. Whoever can hang on longer is going to win. And for them, they got the Strait of Hormuz pretty much closed down. We got the blockade.
These are also hands down the smartest Muslims.
Yes,
they're like geniuses.
They're high IQ. They're pretty high.
They're not.
Yeah, they're pretty high IQ, and they've been preparing for this for decades. You know what I mean? They've literally been preparing for this for decades. They watched Saddam Hussein get toppled, and they're like, all right, we need to have bases underground. They have hundreds of these missile cities. They got drones. They got ballistic missiles out the wuzah. They manufacture.
And the Strait of Hormuz is a giant death trap, and Trump wants to go into it. You know, he fired the head of the army. I know this exclusively. Yeah. He said, there's basically we need hundreds of thousands of troops. We don't have it.
Yeah.
And Trump said, give me another general. We can do this.
Yeah.
Trump is, if he thinks he stuck his dick in a beehive with this attack, with leading us into it, this is 100 times worse.
And the thing that kills me, Alex, is that the entire intel community warned him, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. And he still did it anyway. Tulsi Gabbard went out and said, yeah, Iran's not making a nuclear bomb. They would have used it by now if they actually had one. They don't have one, okay? And that's been a ruse that Trump's been using to justify, because here's the thing. Before the war started.
Well, they should get one, like North Korea, they won't get attacked.
Precisely. If anything, we've emboldened them to get one now. And before we went to war with them, there was three main things they were worried about. The proxies, the nuclear program, and the ballistic missile program. We haven't stopped any of the three. Now they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to destroy their Navy and destroy their Air Force. What, an Air Force that has jets from the 1970s when the Shah was
notice they never tell us the goal, because the goal's been regime change and it's failed. So it's if I hear one more time, we put their ships on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And you know what's funny when they say that? They say, oh, their ships are at the bottom of the sea. And I'm like, well, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. So that's even more embarrassing. So they don't have a Navy, but the Strait of Hormuz
Guys, put up a map of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm going to explain to people. It's only a few miles wide. There's
20 miles at the narrowest.
Yeah. So in parlance, that's just a few miles. But my point is that they've got all this embedded artillery and missiles and everything.
Yep.
And they could put a missile, through the top of a radar dome 500 miles away. They are going to destroy our troops when they come in.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll kill them, but they're ready to die.
They're sitting far out in the Persian Gulf. They know that they can't go there. And here's the thing. They talk about this blockade. Dozens of ships have still went through. Like, we're stopping some of them, but dozens of them are still going through, and they're paying $2 million per. So what we've basically done is we've taken an economy that was basically like an oil economy with shadow fleets. Now we made it a oil economy as well as like a toll economy, because they're making money on the Strait of Hormuz with that. And then here's another thing that these don't talk about. We still got the Caspian Sea, and the Russians are giving them support through the Caspian Sea, through the north. So, us having this blockade down in the Persian Gulf, that's only, solving half the problem.
All right. I tell you, this guy, I've known about him for years. Very popular podcaster. Got to visit him in Miami when I was out there doing his show, Patrick Ben David's, a few months ago. Cool studio, literally at the very top of this building in Miami. I thought I was in Star Wars Episode 3 or something in the capital city, man. That was amazing. I've been in a lot of skylines, but up there, all the pools below us and the bars, and you're on the very top of the building. That's pimp.
Yeah, it's good, man. No complaints.
Got like your own elevator go right to the top?
Yeah. You get
they call that a panty dropper.
Every now and then it works. Every now and then.
You got a book here. Why deserve even less? Myron Gaines. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the first book was Why Women Deserve Less. Second book is Why Women Deserve Even Less. Book number 3 coming, Why Women Deserve Nothing, coming very soon.
Now, what's the philosophy there? Your girlfriend's very beautiful. She seems very happy. It looks like she's got quite a bit.
Yeah, she's doing okay, but one of them. But yeah, basically, all jokes aside, it's about guys understanding their worth, not being simps, understanding that the sexual marketplace has changed, dating has changed, we've changed, and that guys need to adapt for the new normal.
Yeah, like the stereotype we heard of men. But it's they don't seem to understand though that that long term it's not a good plan, and it makes them very unhappy once they figure that out. Yeah,
it's been one of the biggest lies and biggest blunders we've had in modern day society. It's created so many other problems.
Well, the CIA created it.
Yeah.
To destroy families.
Yep.
Now they're just married to the state.
What's her name?
Gloria Steinem.
Gloria Steinem, exactly. Well, the last name says it all, but yeah.
CIA.
Yeah, CIA. Also, that's another conversation. But yeah, no, has literally been one of the
I was
worst
wondering how
things ever.
fast we get into you did 2 minutes. I was going to ask you.
Not to do it.
It's a new record. You went 2 minutes without saying something about you know, you didn't do this, but some of the other guys bashing years ago, they'd come and say, Jones told me don't talk about it. A total lie.
Oh, that's not true.
And then Bongino
You've
says,
always been open and said, hey, say whatever, talk whatever you want to talk about.
and then Bongino says, I get on the line with him when he would come on as a guest and say, I want to lie to my listeners. Will you lie with me?
What?
That is the biggest. Yeah, he really pissed me off of that.
Really?
Oh, have you? He is crashed and burned. He has no viewers now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he posted.
Talk about his show.
Yeah.
I think he's probably. I think old Netanyahu's been giving him a little bit of ding dong.
Taking
him
that
and Lindsey
job.
Graham getting. I think Netanyahu and Lindsey Graham double team Bongino.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham is definitely 100%. He's on some weirdo stuff. It's like he's always constantly going to Israel and talking about how great it is and how we need to bomb Iran.
Lindsey Graham's. I've never heard that before. By the way, it's a joke about Bongino.
Yeah,
We all know it's Trump that gets double teamed by Netanyahu and Lindsey Graham.
Oh yeah, he had a lot of nice things to say about you on Truth Social.
Yeah, look, my deal is.
Twice.
And I love it. I'm fried.
Yeah.
Well, not as fried as you, pal.
Yeah. Yeah, the midterm.
I feel a little fried today. I didn't even drink anything yesterday, but I'm just so not beyond pissed off. We're closing tonight.
Yeah.
We've survived so many times. People aren't taking it serious. Well, this ain't here tomorrow. I love when you survive. They go, oh, it must not be real just because you fought hard.
Yeah.
And then when I finally get shut down, people go, what?
Yeah. But hey, man, I mean, like I said before, you guys are going to transition into something new, so they can't stop the message, man. They can't stop it. They could change the name, but message still.
By the way, you brought me the book as a gift. I'm going to read it and give it to one of my girlfriends, but one of my ex-wives. No, seriously, this I wanted to do a psychology test because he's all sold out, like I told viewers, in 2 days. That wasn't a 2,000 of them. That wasn't a gimmick. Folks at Bigley have this World War II, machine gun dog tags, Liberty or Death. I wanted to see if Myron Gaines wanted that. I have another one here that's a Moan Labe. That's personally my favorite with the Spartans phalanx. So I was hoping he didn't want that because there's only one left. I wanted it, but I was going to give him whatever he wanted. And then I got this one that I designed that was the best seller. It's the Jerusalem Cross, which I know scares you. It's like I'm doing a vampire. I'm joking. And you've got a Christ is King. That actually scares you more. I'm joking. Anyway, I know that Muslims revere Jesus. And then you've got, but you wanted the Infowars. I said, you're really smart. You're going to want this because this is no more sales of any Infowars stuff after tomorrow. So here you go, brother.
Thank you so much.
Wise choice. That is the most valuable knife. Now we got a powerful 6'10" Muslim with a knife. Look out.
Actually, hold on. I think I got the hardcover version of the book here somewhere.
All right, anyways. Oh, I get a nice one.
Yeah, let me. Oh, here we go. Now we got an even better quality one, hardcover.
I love it. I'm going to read it.
Even less.
I'm going to read it. No, it is true. My dad wasn't like some pickup artist or.
Thank you for the gift, Alex.
You bet, Mr. Super Pimp, but we'd be on hunting trips and stuff, and he'd always say, sometimes I don't talk to your mother for a couple of days. You know why I do that? I go, no. He goes, well, you're going to learn when you treat one too good, they're not happy.
Yeah.
And it's just like a weird rule. And then you actually, with force, I'm always nice to when they get a little too out of control, just tell them to shut up and mean it, and then they get so happy.
Yeah.
It's weird. Well, what is that?
I hate to say it this way, but it's because they're stupid. And the reason why they're stupid is because basically they'll sit there and say, oh, I need you to be nice to me and be a gentleman, whatever, but they don't respond favorably to that, right? They respond favorably to the guy that, puts them as the second and third priority, the guy that gives them less, because, they're designed to want to be around guys that are better than them. So, what's a higher demonstration of value than to kind of treat them as, hey, you're not the priority here.
So it's very hierarchical.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Women respond favorably to status and hierarchy. Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, men are like that too. Like all these Trump supporters that just want to be at Mar-a-Lago and wear a tuxedo. Men are followers too. Now, what if you get
to a degree?
Aren't there that are super leaders and have IQ and it's a little bit different? I mean, there are some in general followers because general men are, but there are spectacular men that are 2,000 horsepower.
People in general are followers, but like for them to be aroused and really attracted to you, they have to want to follow your lead to some degree. Like for us, that's not a requirement to want to follow our partner. For them, it's kind of a requirement for them to really be aroused and attracted to you. And yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, of course, there's going to be that are higher IQ, intelligent, whatever. But that's a minority, unfortunately. That's not as with men, right? Like a lot of guys are retarded too. But the difference is, as a man, if you're retarded, you're going to get punished for that. If you're retarded, you can still find a rich guy. You don't have the privilege of being retarded. You don't.
Well, we are in a crisis because the West isn't having any kids.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Big problem.
I guess it's good because the left's extincting themselves.
They are. Like liberal who are the forefront of not having kids and, being, they're the ones pushing for it and they're not having kids, which is good.
I love all these countless videos with the fattest, ugliest saying, I'm not going to give men any sex to punish you. And I'm like, lady, you ain't getting any ding dong.
And if yours from like some, ugly black dude or that probably doesn't want to take you serious anyway. And if you do have a kid with him, he's going to leave anyway. You know what they say? Once you go black, you're a single mom.
The best stuff you do that I'll give you, which no one does better. Charlie Kirk, I've been watching a lot of your stuff. No, I would say you're better than Charlie Kirk. You are the
I
best.
Appreciate that.
I'm not being mean. No, Charlie in political stuff and speeches and overall, as an overall player, kind of like a basketball player that can do all the positions, he would be the OG, just having all the bases covered. But you at these town halls and university stuff, it's I can't turn it off. I'm busy, but I'm watching this. When did you start? I've seen it like for a couple of years, but you're just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, I've been doing it for over a year now. I do it with Uncensored America. It's a lot of fun. Because I went to one of these ritzy schools myself. I went to Northeastern in Boston. So for me, when I'm on these college campuses talking to these people, I understand the academic vernacular and the BS and the pompous attitude that a lot of these college students carry. And I'm able to just kind of sift right through and be like, look, you're not as smart as you think you are. You're very stupid. And, and college nowadays, man, is an indoctrination camp. 10, 15 years ago when I was going to school, you actually had to not be an idiot to get in. But nowadays, since college has turned into a business, it's been inflated when it comes to tuition costs and everything else like that. Like when I went to Northeastern, it was like $36K a year. Now it's like 70, 80K. So it's become a business.
And you're paying to be given a worthless degree.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And now even mainstream media admits that 90% of college degrees are worthless. How long does this bubble go?
I don't know, because a lot of them aren't, a lot of people are starting to wake up that college is a scam. They can't find jobs getting out. It was starting to become a problem with finding a job when I was in school. So I can only imagine how bad it is now.
Yeah, well, people say to me, Jones doesn't have a college degree. Well, that's because I was making $200,000 a year when I was 18 selling.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, I was selling. And I was the best salesman wherever I worked. You know why I was a good salesman?
Why?
I learned what the best product was and who was making the most money.
Yeah.
And I went and got jobs doing that.
That right there is a high income skill versus Well,
no, the best salesman has the best product. The smartest salesman sells the best product.
Exactly.
I don't want to sell to people. I want to sell something that's good.
Yeah. Especially
sells
because
itself.
That, and also you don't want to, if you can't scam people anymore nowadays with sales. Like if you do, people are going to out you on the internet. You're going to get cooked. You're going to get bad reviews. And people won't buy your product.
But see, I've always been instinctively, I didn't have to read a book. Later, I read books about it. And I was like, I already know all this. It's like a restaurant. You want to have great service, great atmosphere, super quality. Nobody ever gets food poisoning, and it's consistent. And now you got a line around the block. Why would I want to get you in once, give you food poisoning? Yeah, I want a relationship with you.
Exactly. And the key is when it comes to restaurants, or whatever, they say you typically need the person to come 2 to 3 times for them to become a lifetime customer, and that's how you make your money is with retention. I remember when I worked at McDonald's as a teenager back in the day. One thing I noticed about them is they'd come in every day and they'd order the same thing every day, and that was something that was really red pilled me.
Consistency.
Exactly.
That's what I always do when I go to Dan's Hamburgers. Double bacon cheeseburger, onion rings. And a non-sweet iced tea. Yeah. And they get to, I don't do it a lot now because I don't want to be fat, but I used to go in there almost every day. They always knew what they go, the regular? Yeah.
Retention is the game when it comes to restaurants. And, I think that, I thank God I had that job because it really humbled me and taught me how the world works. It really red pilled me on human nature.
People want consistency.
Exactly.
They want reliability.
Yep. Reliability, consistency. And I saw that working at McDonald's oh, these people order the same thing every single day.
Well, I think instinctively at a genetic level, it's just all mammals realize a guy they can push around is going to be pushed around by everybody else.
Precisely. And they won't, and this is why they're so, they respond so favorably to security. And they look for what I call survival value. We look for replication value. She hot. They look for survival value. Is this going to be able to protect me?
We immediately look, are those,
us,
why do we love the butt more? I'm sure you're a butt man, right?
No,
well, they both go together. But
both are good.
I love a baked potato with the steak, but you got to, the steak's still a steak. The point is you're looking to see if those are childbearing hips.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
The brain's doesn't have an ass, can't have kids.
Yeah, with breasts, we look for things when it replication value, and then for them,
you feed the baby and you can get the baby out. Okay, you look good. We're going.
Exactly.
That shows genetics like that. You're scanning literally
That's what we're looking for. And speaking of which, when it comes to women, it's crazy how these college campuses are dominated by women. By the way, when I go, it's 60-70%.
Well, that was Mao's Cultural Revolution was run by women. Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we can. But women, I do think that when leadership roles for society leads to a lot of problems, but that's another comment.
Well, I'm flattered. I said, what are you here for? So you're a comic too, or you do shows. You said, well, I'm here for me. So how long are you here?
I'll be here until probably tomorrow or the day after, depending on what's going on.
If you stay over tomorrow, you'll be our first guest in the studio. It's just a backup. We'll build a bigger one.
I'll hang out.
It's nice. But we're going until 9 tonight, so let me find a hole in the schedule. We're going to get food and stuff. We still got a lot of time, but I want to have you come back.
Sure.
Because we won't be on all the radio stations, and you can really let loose. You can too, but you got to delay it. But because I was flattered you're here. I've been asking her to get you for like a month.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be remote. She goes, no, he's here.
Yeah.
Right before you came in, I was like, what?
Yeah, I can't miss the last episode of Infowars, man. I'm here, man.
Well, that's pimp. All right, so shifting gears, you obviously are an American, you're a former federal officer, all the rest of it, a smart guy, but you're also a Muslim, so you can give some of the background. And looking at what Trump's done, now he was getting ground troops ready. We knew in the threat escalation it would suck into this. Lied to him on record. The Pentagon said don't do it. These neocons are literally calling for my head. I don't want to get into it, what they've scored points on, but they've started the debanking and the harassment. People coming to my house. I'm getting same stuff Democrats did. Yeah, it's Israel doing it now. And like if it thinks messing with me is going to make me go away, now I'm about to get it as bad as you.
You brought the reinforcements.
I mean, I just look. Every stereotype of them that people said that I thought was exaggerated before, and then the anti-folks were always lie about me. So I was kind of like, hey, screw you. I'm not going to go as far as you do. You're not going to make me do it. Now I'm just like, my God, it's worse than, I'm about to turn to Stu Peters here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, no, I mean, it's like, it is ridiculous. I'm not going to start playing Hitler speeches, but come on. No, I mean, so what's going on with this?
This war, I truly think, is one of the biggest blunders by far. Trump has two big mistakes during this term. The Epstein files was a huge debacle, and then obviously what we got going on right now with this conflict. And they warned him. They told him, the entire intel community, look, bombing them is not going to effectuate a regime change. These guys are crazy clerics. They have a martyrdom culture. They're gonna buckle down and fight, and that's what they're doing. This is a war of existential existence for them, existential war for them. So they're going to fight tooth and nail, and we've lost this war strategically in every single way. Yes, we're winning militarily. Yes, we're blowing them up. Yes, people are, getting
but not by attrition. They're winning. Just like the British won the first 5 years, we won in the last. Exactly. It's who hangs on the longest.
That's precisely what it is. Whoever can hang on longer is going to win, and for them, they got the Strait of Hormuz pretty much closed down. We got the blockade. These are also
hands down the smartest Muslims.
Yes,
they're like geniuses.
They're high IQ. They're pretty high.
They're not put.
Yeah, they're pretty high IQ, and they've been preparing for this for decades. You know what I mean? They've literally been preparing for this for decades. They watched Saddam Hussein get toppled, and they're like, all right, we need to have bases underground. They have hundreds of these missile cities. They got drones. They got ballistic missiles out the wuzah. They manufacture.
And the Strait of Hormuz is a giant death trap, and Trump wants to go into it. He fired the head of the army. I know this exclusively. He said, there's basically we need hundreds of thousands of troops. We don't have it.
Yeah.
And Trump said, give me another general. We can do this.
Yeah.
Trump is, if he thinks he stuck his dick in the beehive with this attack, with leading us into it, this is 100 times worse.
And the thing that kills me, Alex, is that the entire intel community warned him, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. And he still did it anyway. Tulsi Gabbard went out and said, yeah, Iran's not making a nuclear bomb. They would have used it by now if they actually had one. They don't have one, okay? And that's been a ruse that Trump's been using to justify, because here's the thing. Before the war started.
Well, they should get one like North Korea. They won't get attacked.
Precisely. If anything, we've emboldened them to get one now. And before we went to war with them, there was three main things they were worried about. The proxies, the nuclear program, and the ballistic missile program. We haven't stopped any of the three. Now they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to destroy their Navy and destroy their Air Force. What, an Air Force that has jets from the 1970s when the shot was
notice they never tell us the goal, because the goal's been regime change and it's failed. So it's if I hear one more time, we put their ships on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's funny when they say that. They say, oh, their ships are at the bottom of the sea. And I'm like, well, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. So that's even more embarrassing. So they don't have a Navy, but the Strait of Hormuz
Guys, put up a map of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm going to explain to people. It's only a few miles wide. There's
20 miles at the narrowest.
Yeah. So in parlance, that's just a few miles. But my point is that they've got all this embedded artillery and missiles and everything.
Yep.
And they could put a missile, through the top of a radar dome 500 miles away. They are going to destroy our troops when they come in.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll kill them, but they're ready to die.
They're sitting far out in the Persian Gulf. They know that they can't go there. And here's the thing. They talk about this blockade. Dozens of ships have still went through. Like, we're stopping some of them, but dozens of them are still going through, and they're paying $2 million per. So what we've basically done is we've taken an economy that was basically like an oil economy with shadow fleets. Now we made it a oil economy as well as like a toll economy, because they're making money on the Strait of Hormuz with that. And then here's another thing that these talk about. we still got the Caspian Sea, and the Russians are giving them support through the Caspian Sea, through the north. So, us having this blockade down in the Persian Gulf, that's only, solving half the problem.
And it's going to derail. I mean, look at this. U.S. debt tops 100% of GDP. I know you're a smart guy, so explain to people what that benchmark means. That's flatlining. That's banana republic.
That's us slowing down when it comes to production while China's continuing to grow. And me and you have talked about China extensively. We keep messing around in the Middle East. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're not progressing. And what's happening? China's progressing. They're striking deals. They're being pragmatic. They're supporting the Iranians. This war was supposed to make China and Russia weaker. Guess what? Russia's making money hand over fist now because we had to.
Which again, to the Pentagon's credit, not like they're bastions of telling the truth, but in losing a war, they don't like it. They told him all this would happen.
They did. The entire intel community. This is what they was it the Wall Street Journal or Washington Post? They put out an article a week before he struck.
Yeah, that was leaked by Kane. Kane tried to stop him.
Okay, yeah. So they warned him a week before. Hey, look, Mr. President, this isn't a good idea. If we do this, it's not going to effectuate a regime change. If anything, it's going to embolden them even more so. And Ali Khamenei, before he died, had 7 layers of leadership ready to go. And this is why, after we bombed them, within an hour, missiles were going towards our bases and going towards Israel because they have a mosaic defense. They had it ready to go.
Yeah, they're not vertically integrated. They're parallel.
Completely decentralized. 31 different provinces of the IRGC all had their marching orders. That's why within 1 hour of us attacking them, they already had missiles going. And all of our bases are destroyed. The mainstream media lied for like 2 months, and it finally came, I think it was CBS or
last week, it's destroyed.
They finally admitted, yeah, all the bases are destroyed.
And now Rubio's like, well, because we killed their leaders, everything's autonomous in cells, so we can't stop them. Yes, it was designed where if you decapitate it, it keeps fighting.
Yes, that's exactly.
It's really smart.
And exactly, and they learned this.
Remember, said kill the mullah, they admit, and they'll fold. When any expert would tell you, no, that's the last thing you do.
That's the last thing. And they did this when they saw Saddam Hussein get toppled because they had a top-heavy regiment, and they saw them get destroyed. So they're like, you know what? We need a decentralized, we need different provinces, and we need a military that's completely mosaic and decentralized, and that's why they were able to mount an attack so quickly after getting literally 50 members.
Which that's actually a strength and not a weakness.
It's absolutely a strength, yeah. Yeah, and they're still going. And here's the other thing, too. Trump keeps saying this and it pisses me off. Oh, we got some new people in negotiating. No, you don't. You got Mujtaba Khamenei, who is the son. You killed his daughter. You killed his dad. You killed his entire family. Like, you think this guy's going to want to negotiate with you? No, he's not going to.
Well, that's another thing. Trump used to do what he said in negotiations. That's why he can get things done. Now that he blows up all the negotiators and brags, and every time he makes a deal. Remember Trump said 2 weeks ago, I order you to stop. Enough is enough. And they intensify attacks on Lebanon that blew up 35,000 Christian homes.
Yep, and not only that, the IDF is getting kind of decimated down in southern Lebanon. Like both of them, last time I checked, about 2 days ago, there was around 2,100 dead IDF and about 2,000 dead Hezbollah. So Hezbollah has been kind of messing them up on the ground because the IDF, if they're not bombing kids, they can't really fight on the ground like that. So
well, let's explain what Hezbollah is the best fighters in the Middle East. Yeah, and they wait till the tanks come in or whatever. They're in holes. And they just pop up and bomb them.
And the defending army always has an advantage on their ground. So and Israel's been trying to take up to the Litani River for decades. They keep and it's funny because it's like,
and they used to deny that and say we don't want to get rid of Israel. What changed a month ago? They're like, we're taking it all.
Yeah.
And the U.S. ambassador, really the Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Huckabee says they can have it all. Take it all.
Yeah, he told that to Tucker. Yeah, and got everybody else.
It was all crazy. He goes, take it all.
Yeah, they can have it. Who cares?
And what does it do to people to get them like that?
The Middle East?
They're so brainwashed. No, Huckabee looks like...
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's all just indoctrination of, we need to rule the land because if we rule the land, it'll be peaceful, blah, blah, blah. But it's...
The whole Bible is God getting mad at him and putting him into bondage.
Yeah.
But they're saying you never question any leader. Because God says you follow whoever's in charge.
Yeah, the problem is that...
Meanwhile, Herod had John the Baptist's head cut off.
They start all the issues, man. All the instability in the Middle East, if you look at it, the root cause is almost always... every single time. I don't want to blame it all on them. Obviously, you got a bunch of crazy, radical Muslims too. But we have to be honest.
Yeah, the Muslims love killing each other too.
Yeah, they do fight quite a bit.
The Shiites and the Sunni. But in fairness, I'm not defending this factoid. The British Empire carved it up, created Saudi Arabia, took over what was left of the Ottoman Empire. They started this funding, what's modern Al-Qaeda, and so picked it up, did a great job with it, and created Hamas and all that. But I mean, Britain started this.
Oh yeah. I mean,
they're the ones that they admit they teach it in UK schools called the Great Game. They did in India too. They drew all the lines different to make everybody fight with each other. Yeah. They made the country so they would be unstable.
Well, then pulling out
look at these Muslims, they can't get anything done. Before that, they had all sorts of stuff because they wrote the lines to make it unstable.
Yeah, they left a huge power vacuum with like mandatory Palestine and leaving, and obviously that created all the Ergun and Haganah. They went crazy and they started doing all types of terrorism, but that's a whole other convo. But yeah, in general, this war is just such a bad move, such a bad move.
Well, what's going to happen to Netanyahu? Because he'll be in jail as soon as this war ends. I'm concerned.
That's why he's trying to keep it going. Well,
yeah, but the talking point is nuke them. So let's talk about that. I mean, I'm serious. We have a good chance Trump is going to nuke Iran, or I believe that. I don't say that for sensational purposes. We'll come back and explain why with Myron Gaines. Stay with us. Myron Gaines is here with us in studio. In 30 minutes is the last show ever out of this building, and barring a miracle. But the miracles keep happening. I'm not going to rechronicle all those. People are hearing in the news, well, the Onion got shut down by the Third Court of Appeals, just trying to hijack this place with the Democrat Party. And this rogue judge here in Austin that ran the show trial against me with HBO, financed by the CIA and Justice Department, all declassified. Why are you leaving? Because they're cutting the internet and satellite off.
Austin has always been one of the worst places. When I was a federal agent back in the day, I started my career 3 hours south here, Laredo, Texas. Austin has always been one of the worst places, like federally, for prosecuting cases or whatever. I'll tell you a funny story. Years ago, we caught a pedophile up here. And the guy basically was trying to have sex with the child. And we wrote a criminal complaint, tried to get him arrested and everything else like that. And the judge declined it. They didn't want to take the guy in. And the guy ended up, putting a shotgun in his mouth and ending it after. But that's what happens when you deal with, this district as far as the federal courts.
Yeah, I've looked at big groups, Judicial Watch that tracks it. The worst Soros prosecutor in America, which is hard to be the worst one, is the guy here in Austin, Texas, Jose Garza. And my reporter a year ago got murdered by a black guy and a Hispanic guy that made rap songs about how they killed that white son. Killed him for no reason. He's white, right by this office.
I remember, yeah.
And
rest in peace.
And now this guy he's not even plea bargaining for 20 years. And the prosecutors are basically trying to give him 20 years, cold-blooded murder, saying I killed that white piece of crap. And I said, I bet it was some racist that killed him in the media. Oh, how dare you? And it was. I mean, but like, here's the guy that pulled the trigger right here, overhead shot. And my only point is that I don't care whether you're white or black or who it is. There's this open season, though, to kill white people. What do you think's behind that?
Because black people are I'll say it, I don't care. They get mad at me for saying this, but the reality is that we live in a world now in the United States, especially where reverse discrimination is completely acceptable. Talking about white people, attacking white people, say, hey, white boy, we gonna go after you. Completely socially acceptable. And, it's not frowned upon. It's not, no one says anything about it. No one wants to prosecute against it. That's a big reason why the Black Lives Matter movement is not a terrorist organization, even though it should be one.
But isn't it, I'm not giving some of the racist black people, which is a minority of them, but it's still a very active minority.
It's a lot of them.
But
it's not all, of course.
Okay, well, explain what you think. But I mean, I want to hear it. But you're a federal agent, all the rest of it. But
yeah,
and you can also you can blend in the community. So I literally don't want to have enemies. I want to fix this. Isn't it the Southern Poverty Law Center, which I said 30 years ago runs the KKK, and it should come out? Of course they do.
Yeah.
Unite the Right. They're the ones fomenting it. That the average white person is literally creeping around like a demon, secretly wearing Hitler underwear. When I'm white, I know the average white guy is like a nerd who wants to play golf and loves everybody and wants to get along, and his girlfriend tells him what to do. They're like white Urkels. It's not true.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I would argue black people are more racist than white people by far, and they're openly racist about it, and it's totally socially acceptable. You can walk around and call a white person a with impunity, right? But if a white person dares say, or any of that stuff, they're going to be, their life is over. So racism from the black side towards the white side is completely socially acceptable, and they commit acts of violence on it.
But didn't the 40 years of the Southern Poverty Law Center and ADL, they're the ones hyping it up.
Yeah, the SPLC. I hate them in the ADL. They're the
What
worst.
do you make of that indictment?
I'm happy about it. I hope they go out of business. All these like left-wing organizations, ADL, Media Matters, SPLC, all these organizations like, demonizing and going after guys like us on the right wing that call it like it is, them all, like, honestly. And they really were very strong with, during the Biden administration, especially.
Well, it's so obvious, but people are saying, oh, they're creating racism to make money and raise money, $1 billion. It's worse than that. It's about division and literally balkanizing everybody. And then it's not fair because some white people are naturally going to get really, really racist as a defense mechanism. And then there are a lot of black folks that aren't like that. Because listen, I grew up in Dallas. I played football. I was in track. I did it all. I had great black friends, went on fishing trips with their families, they with me, Christian people, went to church with them. The black people I knew were either super nice, but sometimes I'd go to their neighborhood, which isn't even that bad of a neighborhood, but there'd be some old black man going, I'm going to kill you, white mother. You get out. Like an old man with a shotgun, like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
A white guy, a black man's got a shotgun on his porch. There's white kids in the neighborhood. Yeah. So people don't get like, black people they have like their own version of the Klan. And then you got these white people who don't even understand this. It's crazy.
Yeah,
how do you deprogram a brainwashed black person that's been controlled by the ADL?
You just tell them to return. Hopefully they wake up, but most of them are not gonna, unfortunately.
My answer is don't buck to political correctness. Don't bow to the BS. And just, I notice, I talk to a lot of comics though. They say if they go into a black comedy bar and openly say back to the blacks and just point blank but not intimidated, that on average blacks actually like it if you're just a straight shooter when it's in that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can't bend the knee to them, right? Like, they'll sit there and they'll call you a racist and they'll attack you. They do the same thing to me or whatever, and I just don't give a shit. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, so what is it like when you make these comments? And
you're they hate me even more because they look at me like, oh, like, you know, you an Arab, you ain't one of us, you ain't black. They say all this, and it's just like, all right, bro. Like, nobody gives a nobody cares what Tyrone's got to say. Shut up. And the thing is, like, I hit them where it hurts because I'm like, you know, I look like them, I understand them, I grew up next to them, and you know, I call out all the BS, right? Like the music, you know, the fatherless homes, the criminal activity, you know, the drug use, the, you know, smoking weed all the time.
Are you saying that to try to help them?
I try to, but there's.
But I'm not giving them a pass. But did you know that black illegitimacy in 1945 was lower than white illegitimacy?
Yes, they did better during the Jim Crow era.
Because under pressure, we're not defending Jim Crow, but yeah, their own hotels, own doctors, own everything. That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Then LBJ, the famous letter, says, I'm going to have these N-words voting Democrat for 100 years, literally to take the men out of the home. Then Gloria Steinem does it to everybody.
Exactly.
So that's what they were doing.
They did better. Like, black families did better during Jim Crow and the worst era for them than now. Like, the black-owned businesses, it's because the family was together. When the family's together, it's very difficult to keep them down. But now they're doing worse with more rights.
But it was all Hollywood. I've talked to Professor Griff, but also Billy Corrigan and a bunch of other, Dave Mustaine, and they all told the same story. In the early 80s, they come to him and they go, rock and roll's out, rebellion of the system's out, everything's going to be gangster rap, murder, death. And then they told me, basically, producers came in from the CIA and said, you're going to read this.
I believe
and they went and found NWA, all that. Now,
NWA was kind of like the beginning.
Yeah.
If you look at like what was it, Straight Outta Compton? Yeah, back in 1989 or 1988, I think they dropped it.
And it's like, I'm gonna kill cops and I'm gonna kill other N-words and I'm gonna.
And they had a Jewish lawyer. They had a Jewish.
I was told manager. I know KRS-One, I know them all, because back when I was bashing Bush in the wars, they were like, hey, come to our concerts. I've been at like 5,000 people up on the stage. You gotta find all that video and put that out. Like, hand me the microphone.
Or Kanye West, George, what's like about black people?
Who's the guy with the clock around his neck doing the...
Oh, Flavor Flav.
I mean, I've been on stage for Flavor Flav. Anyways, I don't know where all these tapes are. When this stuff hits the internet, it's going to be gold. We looked around, we can't find it. Because that's all predates this office 17 years ago.
Wow.
We never used to save the stuff. I used to be so... I wasn't really cheap, but digital tapes were expensive. So we'd load it on, edit it, and then tape over it.
Oh, man.
The gold we've got, man.
Yeah, man. Those are days, VHS tapes.
But my point is, it was literally the CIA created gangster rap so that black men would go out and do that and think it was cool to throw them all in prison.
I believe it. I believe it, man.
And now you got the cycle.
Yeah, and it's still going to this day. Still going to this day. But like, yeah, you look at like, you know, with Straight Outta Compton and then just the way it's progressed now. And then like
there's too much cussing, but delay a little bit of it. Let's play Straight Outta Compton as soon as you can, but go ahead.
Yeah. No,
I was listening to it the other day. It does sound good, I gotta admit.
And it continues now. Like, if you look at like drill rap nowadays, like right now, like there was a rapper that was killed a couple years ago, and his name is Fulio. Like, they made songs about like killing each other leading up to his murder, and then like they killed him, and like it's on video, like in HD, the Teslas that were recording in Tampa as he was shooting. And this is where we are now, where these guys are like actually living out their raps and shooting each other.
They think it's cool.
Yeah, they do think it's cool, and it's crazy now because it's not lyrics anymore. It's like they really do it. Like, they talk about real people that died, and
that's another thing. I think cops kill 25 black people a year. It's almost all just
very little.
Or it's 100, maybe 25 questions. I forget the exact number. It's 125, but 25
See
are
the body cams?
Well,
Dude,
exactly. You'll hear white cop shoots black It's an Asian cop. She opens the door. And she starts stabbing him.
Yeah.
And then they say a white cop attacked her.
Exactly. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. If you watch like these
That was in
YouTube
Virginia.
channels,
It's like NAACP, a white cop just shot a black woman in her apartment for no reason. It's an Asian. The neighbor calls her. She's going crazy. He knocks on the door. The woman starts. She's like a former basketball player, stabbing him.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for 6 months before they released the body cam, a white guy just killed his black woman.
Yeah, and if you look at the body, like he bled a lot. Like she actually stabbed him a few times
in the face.
He was able to.
In the neck.
Yeah. So before he was able to shoot, but like I'll tell you this, the BLM, they pushed really hard to get these body cams. Big mistake. Now we can see how stupid these people really are, because like when you look at these body cams, you're like, oh wow, like this is ridiculous what the cops are dealing with.
Are you going on Harrison today?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm flattered you're here. So tomorrow, and it's super secret location because it's only the backup for now.
Okay.
Well, we're finishing the other one. You're going to be on me with the 4th hour, our first in-studio guest tomorrow at the new Alex Jones Network.
I'm honored.
Studios.
I'm honored.
Because it goes by fast talking to you. So other big issues here. What's going to happen in the midterms? The Epstein cover-up, everything Trump's doing. He's not that. Why is he destroying himself?
Trump is cooked, bro. He's so cooked. You know what? He
called me fried. He's fried.
He might even get impeached, Alex.
Yeah, if they lose the Senate, he will.
Yeah, I honestly think it. Like we might actually see like him actually get, because even the Republicans, the people that voted for him, like I voted for Trump. There was no way we're gonna let Kamala Harris in. She wrote about me in her book, by the way, how I kept her out the office, me and Tate. But at 107 days. But
what percentage of your Trump supporters are to Trump? It's about 80 for me.
A majority of my guys are pissed off too. Yeah, the war.
Put
war
a
is
number on it. What is it?
I'd say around 75 to 90% off. The war is the big thing.
But CNN said 100% support him.
That's so BS. That is so. I was like, yo, there's no way. Like there's no way, man. Because like a lot of us, when I voted for Trump, I voted for no new wars, immigration, right? Going harder on immigration, and those are the two main things I voted on. And for us to go to war with Iran, the thing I did not want at all, because I knew Iran was very capable, it just threw me off, man. I was just like, this is. And I knew that the Intel committee warned him that this was going to be a bad idea. So, and when it came out that a week before they struck, that 18 agencies came and told them this is a good idea. You're not going to get the regime change. Don't do it. And then Marco Rubio slips up and says, "Oh yeah, we attacked because we knew that was going to attack." And then they went ahead and switched it. Well, we attacked because we know they have this ballistic missile shield and they're going ahead with a nuke. The whole nuclear angle is a lie used to, harness.
It's a cover and excuse.
Support. Yeah, it's because they know if they say to the American people, they're going to get a nuclear bomb and we can't have these crazy mullahs with nuclear bomb. That they know that's going to be
so it's a trigger. So how does it, the same WMDs in Iraq. So how does it end?
It ends with us having come to the table and concede on quite a few points, because the longer the war
But
goes,
Trump's not going to do that. I agree. He's in a threat escalation ladder. He's getting briefings on ground invasion of Strait of Hormuz. You talk about playing in traffic, folks. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So bad.
And I told you 2 months ago when it started, this is where it's going to lead, because I know Trump's not going to give up now.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's not, unfortunately, because he's looking for an off ramp, but at the same time, he's looking for an off ramp where he has like, he has a victory that he can like say like, look, see, we got this. I mean, they had their whole when the F-15 got shot down. I'm sure you probably talked about this on your show. They were trying to steal the uranium. They were doing a black operation.
That was a cover for that. Yeah,
that was a cover for that. Exactly. So they had the FARP set up. You had SEALs there. You had Army Rangers, etc. You had nuclear scientists that were there. That's how they fund that government idea of that.
Yeah, I love Trump lying then. And we had the C-130s landing in the desert to save the pilot. And then they're there at a base digging up uranium.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. And they were
which I talked to the Delta Force people that are no longer in there, but they told them, don't do this mission.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you even know the uranium's there?
They didn't even know. And here's the other thing that gave it away. The Wizzo that was stranded, that got shot down or whatever, because they got the first pilot they got the pilot quickly, and then the weapons systems officer in the back, he was a colonel. And I was like, wait, you got a colonel in the back? This guy probably was attached to this unit, and that's how they got shot down. And they got a little arrogant, flew a little higher than they should have, got shot down, and that put them in a spot. And they went from an assault mission to a rescue mission. That's why I had the little birds there, the MC-130s, which is a classified version of the AC-130s. So
it was really the cover for one of the planes bogging down because the old airfield wasn't used, or they thought it was buried, so it ran off the road because of sand.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Delta Force in '79 in the rescue mission crash.
Yeah, and
it's a repeat.
They basically got exposed trying to go ahead and assault the Isfahan and get the uranium, and then the F-15 got down, and that's the other red flag was like the CIA ran the whole operation. right? With getting him back, with using the murmurs, all this other stuff. I was like, yeah, this was 100% some type of black operation that went bad.
By the way, we have murmur satellites. It's called a GPS beacon.
Yeah.
You don't need do you even believe that murmur stuff? I know they've got passive sonar cameras at airports that can do your body walk and your face and your heart.
Yeah.
So it's true they can get a heart measure that's better than a fingerprint. I've studied it. I've talked about it for decades. But they don't have it from satellites. We found him because of his heartbeat. They've got a beacon they punch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he had the beacon. And then on top of that, like I said, the reality is we were there trying to steal
it's
the
a gimmick. And we've got this heart murmur thing.
Yeah.
What do you think the discombobulator is? You think they got secret weapons they're using?
Like the one they ran in Venezuela?
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, that was, you know, even though I wasn't too much of a fan of the invasion of Venezuela, I mean, you got to admit that it was a flawless military victory. And it was that victory that emboldened Trump to think.
Oh, I said that at the time. Because I said, this is totally different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, they paid off. They'd already paid off the Venezuelans. They already decided to put, that's where it happened, the communist vice president in. And all they had to do was kill the Cubans protecting him.
Yeah. And the Venezuelans, let's be honest, are like they didn't know how to operate the weaponry properly. The Russian and Chinese radars.
But all they had to do was buy them off. Then they only had a few hundred Cubans to kill.
Exactly. And that's what they ended up doing. And they were able to get in there and
that's why Maduro used Cubans, because they were the only ones that were loyal.
Yeah. 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 And then this is what Trump was planning. We're going to take Venezuela, boom. Then we're going to go to Iran, because he was hoping that with Venezuela...
Cutting China off.
Exactly. Cutting China off, and then also weakening Cuba, because Cuba relies on Venezuelan energy.
Well, China.
Yep, China as well. Then he goes into Iran, gets that done in a couple of days. He thought in a couple of days he'd be able to get the mullahs to submit. They didn't. Now he's stuck in Iran, and he can't finish what he wants to do in Cuba now.
And now, if you follow his psychology, he already had all his surrogates float nuclear attacks. This is before the break. I'm glad I remembered it. He goes, tune into Mark Levin tonight. It's time, Mr. President, just like with Japan, drop the bombs. And they're all over. We need nuclear weapons. Knesset leaders on TV, we're going to use neutron bombs. So, the Japanese were already trying to surrender. We did that. We were showing the Russians what we had. And then Hirohito did it unconditional, because MacArthur sent him a message saying, I'm going to hang you when I get there. So they were going to give up till the emperor told them, okay?
Yeah.
So that was all a demonstration for the Russians. That's declassified. Okay, so move on from that. You drop atomic bombs on Tehran and other cities, we are international pariahs, forever war criminals. The Muslims will rise up. Yep. They will flood across the desert in their Jeeps and Humvees. They will attack. No amount of weapons can take them out unless you use nukes on them. And the Muslims did this before on camels and gone and taken Syria and stuff. So I'm telling you, it is psychotic trying to get us to do this. Netanyahu gets off on the danger he's created, because I've studied all the war game angles. This is absolutely insane. And Trump is now marching full into ground troops. That's why they fired the head of the army.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, look, Saddam was going to do it back in the 80s, even with us supporting him and everybody backing him from the West as well. Like, the mountain range on the west side starts with a K. The Alborz is to the north with the Caspian Sea, and then the mount. Oh my God, I can't.
It doesn't matter.
Starts with a K. Either way, we're talking about like we barely held on in Afghanistan with the Taliban.
Iran is built to stop invasion. It's circled with 5,000 to 50,000 foot mountains. The Strait of Hormuz is 2,000 foot sheer cliffs for hundreds and hundreds of square miles with a tiny beach with all these built up islands with 5,000 foot mountains. They admit is honeycombed with artillery and missiles.
It's a fortress, man. It's a fortress. And is it really worth it? Like, are we going to get any real strategic benefit from this? No.
Listen, our military should climb in a wood chipper before they go in there.
It would be.
You saw the head of the Iranian military said, "Please come."
Yeah. The foreign minister, he smiled. It was like, "Yeah, we're waiting for them to come in." It would be catastrophic, man. It would be catastrophic with almost no strategic benefit for us whatsoever. Like, there's no benefit to a war with Iran. Only there's benefit from this conflict. And Trump, like, he realized he messed up. He's trying to find some type of strategic W here. And he's going to try to dig in deeper, and it's just going to put us in a precarious situation.
Well, remember, Admiral Yamamoto argued, do not attack Pearl Harbor, do not do this. When we cut off their energy and we're pushing them into it, we'd broken their codes here before. We knew 2 days before where they were going to attack. They put the aircraft carriers out to sea, had the obsolete battleships there. 5 subs attacked early. They ordered the radio guys, don't report there's an attack. Yep. So, like, subs are getting blown up like a mile away. I was like, never mind that, man.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
You're the sacrifice. And then all that happened, and Admiral Yamamoto said, we have awoken a sleeping giant. The emperor thinks we're going to beat them in the Pacific and invade America. He goes, there'll be a rifle behind every blade of grass. And it's the same thing. Guys, imagine even if our pussified state, if the Russians with 5 million troops tried to invade the East Coast, it doesn't matter. Everybody get their guns. It'd be over. No submission. They'd die. And it's the same thing here. We're going into Iran, folks. They're all armed.
Million strong. And then here's the thing, too. The reason why the regime change isn't going to work is because the people are standing with the government. When we say things like, we're going to go ahead and bomb them into the Stone Age, or we're going to go ahead and have Plant Day, and we're going to end the civilization, that's going to make the people side with the government more. Even the people that don't like the regime are going to say, you know what? We don't like the regime, but we're going to go ahead and rally around the flag because we're going to protect our country.
Exactly. They exaggerated how unpopular they were before. Now they're really popular, the numbers show. But Syrian girl, she went to Tehran recently before this time, and I've had a bunch of others. They have all these big shopping malls, and
don't cover their hair and everything.
80% of them aren't even, they're all lipsticked up.
Yeah.
So again, what we're told is not even the truth.
It's a lie, yeah. It is. It is. And yeah, they say all the time, oh yeah, the women are getting assaulted for not covering their hair. Dude, Iranian women go there. A lot of the times they're not covering their hair, their lipstick up. Yeah, they're very westernized.
So it's up to what they want to do.
It's all, and then the whole lie about, oh yeah, they killed 40,000 of their own people. That's ridiculous too.
Now they admitted months after that the CIA and Mossad delivered weapons.
Yes.
And we're killing the police.
We armed them. We tried to arm them. We had the Starlinks in there. Media literally admitted that they were training these guys to go ahead and do a rise up. Like a lot of these guys that were caught were Mossad assets. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Iranian government didn't kill their own people. They definitely did. But 40,000, that's ridiculous. And a lot of them were
agitated. The point is, Trump's like, yeah, we gave them a bunch of guns. They gave them guns. They did it.
Scott Bessent purposely crashed the Real too, and on purpose. Who used to work for George Soros, who used to crash currencies. This is what they do. They did this back in December and January.
Isn't it strange after those high-power radars, which we know are used for weather control, got blown up, suddenly they're flooding in Iran after a huge drought.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that, too.
Well, in closing, you got your new book. Let me see it. Show people.
Oh, yeah.
It says, why being a and doing whatever your wife says works great. That's a joke. Why deserve even less?
And then here's yours.
I got a hard copy. I'm an OG over here. Where do people find that? On Amazon or where else?
They go on Amazon. Why I'm deserving.
All right. Well, here's my plug. You're going in the war room. What time today?
Whenever you want me.
Well, no. I mean, I don't know. I heard you're on it. What time is he on with Harrison?
I think 3.
Oh, you're right on.
Yeah, I think I'm going right. Yeah.
All right. You guys get some pizza?
We'll eat after.
All right. Good. All right, well, I'll see you around, and you'll be my first guest in studio tomorrow at the new studios, Alex Jones Network.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
You can find the free app at alexjonesapp.com on Droid or on Apple if you want to find it. And all the websites, everything will be on Real Alex Jones on X and the Alex Jones Show on Rumble. You can find the new news site URL. It's just like Infowars, alexjoneslive.com is the new site. But we have an Infowars original products fundraiser, last chance for you to get them. Free dog tags with every order. We now have the methylene blue gummies. They're even stronger than the tincture. It's insane. Watch out when you take them, and so much more.
Well, this is it right here. Yeah,
watch out though. It's truly heinous. I mean, I'll be honest with listeners. It does not taste good. It doesn't taste horrible, but it's not a walk in the.
I'm going to show my.
It's not a walk in the park. Hey, you took the liquid before and liked it, right?
I did. The liquid is good.
Well, look out. This is way stronger.
All right. Well,
it's the same methylene, but they concentrated it and to the moon without a rocket.
Say I'm not black. I'm taking these.
That's right.
I'm stealing them.
For saying what about black?
Because people say I'm not black all the time. So now I'm going to steal this. So not
exactly.
Black.
Well, I already gave you it. Now you're a Muslim with a knife, though. Everything's fine. Big old hair. Just wave it around for everybody.
Yeah, all the stereotypes are like, they're all working.
Pull it off. Go on. Say, Durga Muhammad Jihad. I like you. You have big balls. Here, I'll do it with you. Allah Akbar! It's America! Joking. I don't support a British agent.
They're gonna.
Hey, seriously though, I don't support the ADL. I'm totally against the ADL. You support the ADL. You support some private law center, folks, for real, as I've always told you.